You're watching Fox 7's Good Day Austin Sunday with Scarlett Greyson.
Welcome back to Good Day Sunday. I'm Scarlett Greyson, and here with me now is award-winning author Jonathan Hewitt of Life Keto Parenting: Tools to Raise Happy and Confident Kids from the Inside Out. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jonathan.
It's always my pleasure.
Awesome. So we are just days away, weeks away, a couple weeks away from Christmas, and it's the holidays. And one of the things that we wanted to touch on is you don't talk often about is divorced parents and how children and divorced parents basically work together through the holidays to make it a holiday that everybody can enjoy. And Jonathan's going to be here with us to talk about that and give you guys some tips for those of you that may be going through this type of holiday situation. So Jonathan, we know that it's not always easy for kids to divide up time between parents. I know it wasn't easy for me. I'm one of those, kids that have to go home this Christmas and divide up my time between my mom and dad, but we all have to do it and deal with it. What is the smoothest approach that you would recommend in making that a happy holiday?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really important to plan ahead, because if you're not doing that, it's very easy to get anxious with what's going on. So I think with the two ex-spouses together, possibly talking about it and getting the child involved, really planning ahead is where is the child going to be? Who are they going to be with? When? And so they're very clear in their head. They know what's going on in the holiday season because there's a lot of busyness and stress. So this will help give them that more of that structure. Where if they don't have that, it's very easy to get anxious and wondering, where am I going to be? Who am I going to be with? Is it going to work out? Are my parents going to fight? All these unknowns. So giving that structure of planning ahead.
No, I absolutely agree. That's funny. My mom actually just sent me an email saying that, I need to know the schedule of when you're going to be with me and when you're going to be with dad. And I know it sounds terrible, but it's the way that it works, and that is the best way, is planning that ahead. So agree with you 100% there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is spending the holidays, with children. So how do you feel about divorced parents spending the holidays with children?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting one. I think it really depends upon the quality of the relationship of the ex-spouses and also the maturity level of the child. For example, if, let's say, the child is hoping that the parents may get back together, having the parents come spending the holidays together is kind of feeding that idea, right? So it's really important to look at what's the motivation. Is a parent doing it because maybe they want to get back together and they're hoping this will work, or they're trying to flaunt their new lifestyle to the other parent, right? So really looking at what is the motivation, and is it really the best thing for the family to do that? Because there is a reason why the parents are not married anymore, right? So I would say if there's a chance of conflict and drama and it's going to create all these possibilities, false possibilities to people's heads, I'd say, why do it? But if there's a mature relationship and the child's ready for it, great.
Awesome. Well, I think Mom, Dad, we know the answer to that one for us. We won't be spending our Christmas together, but that's fine. That's what works for us.
It's honest though, right? That's the thing, is like, okay, that's not a good idea, then don't do it.
Exactly. So, exactly, like you said, it is being honest. So what suggestions do you have about gift giving? Because that's another difficult one. I mean, are you going to get, should this be coordinated?
Yeah, I think it's really challenging, because I think, the first thing I think it's so important is to not try to out-gift the other spouse, because I may want to say, I want to buy you a better gift because I want you to love me more, or I feel guilty that I left your mom, whatever it is, right? So I want to give you more gifts. So really be clear in your head that it's not a competition between you and the ex. It's like, don't out-gift each other. It's just a really clear point. And then once you say, okay, I'm aware I'm not going to do that, out-gift, then, okay, what are the gifts that our child's hoping for? Like if there's a wish list, and discuss it, the ex-spouse will discuss, okay, here's the list. Let's appropriately separate, split it down the middle or whatever we do, so it's the child receiving the gifts, and it's kind of fair. It's not like, oh, this person's way out gifting the other. That way if you're working maturely again, whether it's the time being spent or the gifts, you may say, hey, you know what? I have extra money, you don't, let me give you some money toward that gift. So it really comes out where it's the child receiving gifts from both. It seems fair.
I do. I absolutely agree with that, because, when as much as your parents want to make it a competition sometimes, and if that is the case, with your parents, I think it's best for the kid if, you are being equal, and, you're not putting them under that pressure of, well, mom gave me this, dad, dad. Exactly. So awesome. Okay. That's awesome. So what about the traditions that families get into, one holiday after the next, and now these traditions may not be the same. What advice do you have about keeping traditions or having to change them?
Sure, I think it's similar again, depending upon the relationship of the ex-spouses and the maturity level of the child. In general, children and adults love routine because it makes us feel more secure and safe, right? So if there's a tradition within the family that somehow can still be happening, whether it's just with one of the parents, whatever that is, that's great if it creates the stability. But if it has an ulterior motive or all those other things we talked about, then I'd say it's not great. But if there is a tradition that really works within the current setup, I would say continue that tradition, but also it's important to create new traditions as well with the current setup, right? So.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. I just want to kind of sum up. Are there any extra tips that you have for children and parents, for the parents, who are divorced and have to go through these next couple weeks through the holidays? It's not an easy time. Are there any last tips you have?
Yeah, definitely. I think any time in life I would say this, but especially when there's more stress, which happens in the holidays, especially if you're a divorced family. And I think to really take care of yourself, and people always say, oh yeah, I don't have time to do that. But the thing is, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to sleep well, we need to exercise, we need to eat well, we need to connect with reaching out to our friends or people that support us. And so we're developing the strength in ourselves. Not only will that make it better for us during the holidays as the parents, but then we're showing our children, hey, this is how you deal with stress and conflict, or the way I'm being with my ex-spouse, right? During this so-called challenging situation is they're going to see, oh, this is how you treat people even if you're in conflict with them, right? You treat them with respect and dignity and whatever that is. And so we're teaching our children, so it's better for us, it's better for the children, so self-care.
Absolutely. And I know this seems like a very depressing topic to be talking about weeks before, Christmas season, the holiday season, but it is something that, it's going to help in the end, and it's going to make the holidays better for your family. So if you do want to learn more about this topic, about being a divorced parent and how to make your holidays better during this time of year, you can check out Jonathan's book on Amazon.com, Book People. Where else, Jonathan, can you? BarnesandNoble.com. It's Life Keto Parenting Tools Raise Happy, Competent Kids, but from the inside out. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.